Welcome to the channel. My name is Loki, Lord of all octopi. Today we have a couple of videos for you. Mainly the Bucket Woman saga. And if you want me to do something else, please message me, and I will, or send a comment basically, and I'll try to do my best to do that. I am still trying to figure out my niche on YouTube because there's so many niches and oh my god. But either way, back to the Bucket Woman saga. Hopefully you enjoy it. Until you hear me this voice again, you'll be hearing my horns reading this story to you. God dang it, my tongue is getting tied again. Yes, octopuses have tongue, don't ask. But let's get started with the Bucket Woman saga yet again.
Quick recap. My batty neighbor, the Bucket Woman, named after Hyacinth, has a thing about bringing rubbish bins in by 9 a.m., so the street doesn't look messy. Yesterday she passive-aggressively blockaded our neighbor's driveway with empty bins, and then tried to stop me entering my own home so I could listen to her lecture on the importance of bringing the bins in. My new human saved the day with a well-timed shite in her nappy. I managed to escape, and decided to remain holed up in my house, and not bring the bins in. Bucket Woman remained outside, hovering around the bins like a blowfly. We were expecting a storm, and we weren't going to bring the bins in until we were good and ready. My partner defined that as 9 p.m., and put a reminder in his phone, because he is organized petty. The bins did not come in at 9 p.m. One bin came in late afternoon. Martin's parents have come for Christmas, New Year, and are staying in accommodation nearby. They came over, and his dad brought one of the bins in for us. Martin's mom and dad were quite pleased to have their first sighting of a Bucket Woman in the wild, too. At one point, there was a big clap of thunder, and I checked outside. The bins were still there, but the Bucket Woman had gone. She cracked first. Then life happened. We had dinner, got new human settled, and then we got talking with Martin's mom and dad, who spilled the beans on his childhood adventures. The power stayed on, so it didn't turn into a candlelight supper, but Martin's mom put some Christmas carols on in the background, so I guess you could call it a small musical soiree. Especially when I started turning the 12 days of Christmas into the 12 bins of Christmas. So the upshot is, Martin ignored the reminder, it got late, and the weather wasn't the greatest, so the bins stayed where they were. He swears he thought about bringing the bins in when he got back from dropping his parents off. But he didn't, and the rest of the bins stayed out all night in the street. Martin's taking leave while his parents are here, so he eventually wandered out this morning to bring them in. In PJs and bare feet, unshaven and hair unbrushed, and without caffeine in his system. Bucket Woman was next door, in the garden. Martin claims that even in his uncaffeinated state, he could feel the waves of disapproval emanating, and saw a cat's bum expression so dense it seemed to bend light around it. So there you have it. I am a shameless blonde hussy who leaves her bins out all night, and Martin has very much let his standards slip by not getting dressed before bringing them in.
Wow, I didn't expect the 12 days of Christmas to turn into 12 buckets of Christmas. I find that hilarious. Sorry about that. Allergies are a real bad mistress that you do not want to deal with, even in the ocean. Yeah, but hopefully we can get over this. But the song, I looked at the song. I'm leaving the song up so you guys can hear it. It looks like a funny song, and I enjoyed that. And with Christmas not too long from now, I forgot how long. I don't keep track of the dates. I haven't even changed my calendar yet. So, best way to say it is, hopefully the Bucket Woman learns her lessons. I highly doubt that, because old people are like old dogs. You can't teach them new tricks at times unless they're willing. But let's continue on with these stories. I really am enjoying sharing them with you. So let's go on in to the next one.
For the uninitiated, the house next door is haunted by a living woman who is fixated on bringing the bins in by 9 a.m. because they make the street look messy. My partner, Martin, nicknamed her, the Bucket Woman, because of this bin curfew, as he said it was like living next door to Hyacinth Bucket. Our bucket woman has been known to blockade driveways with empty bins to drive home her point. Another piece of relevant background. Over the last couple of weeks, I've been having an allergic reaction to something outdoors, so I've been staying inside. Good news is, it's gotten under control and I think we've worked out what plant it is. Bad news is, for Martin anyway, I'm permanently excused from weeding. Since I was staying indoors, I didn't bring any of the bins in. Bucket woman hovered around, repeatedly checking the bins and getting more frustrated. I went about my business, looking after new human. Okay, I was sleep deprived due to noisy wild creatures, and if someone even looked at me wrong, there was going to be a smoking hole in the universe. When Martin came home, he brought most of the bins in, except for the recycling bin which hadn't been emptied. He reported it to the council as a missed delivery, using their web form, because the council offices were closed. Now here's the important bit. The council instruction is to leave the bin out until it's collected. So that's what we did. Cue Martin's first act of pettiness. He attached a neat sign to the bin lid, saying something like, "Missed delivery, reported to council," and the date. That didn't stop Bucket Woman from checking the recycling bin several times, each time getting a bit more aggressive in slamming the lid back down again and flouncing off. I have not seen this with my own eyes, but apparently Buckety is on crutches. The story doing the rounds is she stubbed her big toe on something and broke it. I say nothing, but my smirk is worthy of a certain politician. For the unfamiliar, the certain politician is ScoMo, or Scott Morrison, a former Australian Prime Minister known for his trademark smirk. Bucket woman sighting. I can confirm she is on crutches. I don't know exactly what happened, because her usual methods of communication are complaints put through our letterbox, or visits from authorities, and neither have occurred yet. The neighborhood explanations vary from the mundane, stubbed a toe, to the ridiculous, crushed by a wombat? The broken bin is still out, waiting to be replaced. She seems to be leaving it alone. Possibly because someone has drawn a big pair of eyes on a piece of paper and stuck it to the top of the bin.
The pettiness is strong with these people, and I'm enjoying every minute of this bucket woman saga. Best way to say this is, do not mess with someone else's bins, or do not fuck around and find out. Either way, she fucked around and found out. I am getting to the point where I'm enjoying these videos, and I'm still learning, and I'm probably going to be learning more about After Effects because I have access to it. So if you see some weird changes and stuff like that, it's because I've been playing around with After Effects. Hopefully I get good. If not, I'll go back to my lazy form of putting stuff on a timeline. Either way, hopefully I am getting better, and hopefully you guys enjoy the videos. Real quick, I'm probably going to make this a little bit longer because I'm trying to see how long I can make it because stuff happens. I do have a few more stories for you guys, and this is probably going to be the last. Until the end of the video, you're going to hear the last of my commentary. So have fun with the bucket woman, and then stuff happens. So
this is a repost of the deleted post from our Petty Revenge. In hindsight, I can see there wasn't a lot of revenge to it, beyond a caffeine and sleep-deprived woman yelling at an annoying neighbor. Or maybe it was removed because the reference to matron Dorothy conniving bitch caused nightmares. Anyhow, I've reposted it here, because it was funny seeing her hopping around looking startled. No bucket women were seriously hurt, as she was seen without the crutches a few days later. She won't let up. Despite the signs, and someone putting hand-drawn eyes on the side of the bin facing her house. Following the downing of the recycle bin, Martin has tweaked the camera angles a bit, and we've repositioned the recycle bin so it is in full view of the cameras and close to the front gate. Things are not running to schedule this morning. We slept in. Also, sorry for any mistakes, and need caffeine. After the baby and fur baby rush hour settled down, something made me check the monitor by the front door. On the camera, I could see the bucket woman approaching the bin from across the road on the other side, away from the eyes. She looked like she was trying to appear casual, but because she is on crutches, she actually looked more like matron Dorothy conniving bitch trying to sneak up on someone. Sneak sneak sneak. If you don't get the reference, Google, Let the Blood Run Free. It's an anarchic Australian comedy from the early 1990s. Consider yourselves warned. It may be the lack of caffeine in my system making me cranky, but I jammed my finger on the intercom and said loudly, "Leave the bin alone." I hope she didn't hurt her foot again. Edit. Did Buckety jump in the air? No. She kind of hopped around on one foot, flapping her crutches a bit, while she looked around wildly for the source of the mysterious voice. Woo. My apologies for not including that info in the first place. I've since had coffee, and a shower, refereed a cat spat, and made a start on Mount Dirty Laundry. I'm getting back on track. Last week, one of the bins wasn't collected on bin day. I came back from my appointment at around 5 p.m., and realized it was still full, but there was an air of recent activity around the poor bin. No, not the one with the religious knickers in it. I went inside, and checked the council website. There were delays, please leave the bins out until collection. So that's what we did. Because Buckety puts her empty bins out for collection, and brings them in at 9 a.m. sharp, she was the only house in the street with empty bins. At one stage she was literally standing in the middle of the street, throwing her hands up in the air, at all these full bins still out, making the street look messy. One of the neighbors had to blast his horn to get her out of the way. This week I was on the council website again to check if I needed a permit for imaginary chickens. The answer is no, and not for real chickens either, if it's less than 10. There is no information about imaginary roosters. The council had a prominent notice on their website, saying the delays in the rubbish collection were expected to continue for several weeks, and please put your bins out as usual and leave them out until collected. Martin was at work, so I texted him the news. He texted back that Buckety will get her knickers in a twist over this. I texted back that she can twist her own knickers as much as she likes, so long as she leaves the ones in our rubbish bin alone. P.S. Someone speculated I'd gone quiet because the interior decoration police had finally caught up with me. My execrable taste and I are still free to roam the street, but we have a new tooth. Actually, New Human has the tooth, she grew it all by herself, but it kind of feels like a family effort.
Well, this is the end of the video, and real quick, if OP you ever see these videos, congratulations on the baby. Hopefully she is not a crazy maniac like Bucket Woman. Either way, thank you for joining me today on this wonderful December day. I'm not sure, I don't keep track of the months either. Octopi don't have sense of time like humans. You guys scare us because you eat us! Either way, thank you for joining us, and please, next time, or now, if you want, give me a like, comment, and a subscribe, and maybe we can do some more fun stuff. I am planning on doing some D&D related stuff, like how to make a homebrew race or stuff like that. I'm not sure yet because I am just a small YouTuber and I'm still looking for my niche, and I'm thinking about expanding slightly. I'm not sure. Hopefully you enjoy. Like I said, please give me a comment, like, and subscribe if you like what you see. Until next time, ta-ta.